One more question about your fight, you and Denis. There were some like rumors, and also even I talked a little bit about it. Wasn't that fight a little bit too late? Like maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago?
Well, so in 2008, is probably around 2009, 2010 would have been a great time for it to happen in the right.
Yeah.
Because you know, at that time, 2008, 2000, I was probably widely recognized and accepted as the #1 right hand. But there was Denis. You know, there was a Denis and a few others, but Denis. But because, you know, I was doing the super matches, he was doing more tournaments, and there was this kind of, there wasn't enough motivation for either of us to kind of cross. But
it's just speculations. But you think like 5 or 7 years ago, the result would be different?
Honestly, I don't really think it would have. I think I would have learned the same thing. I mean, maybe he has advanced more than I have in the last little bit. Hard to say, but I had surgery that didn't do me any favors, okay? I think that I had to have the surgery, especially when you look even further from now. Like if I want to keep arm wrestling forever, I think the surgery was really important for me. But, you know, the surgery, the one thing that the surgery did is it opened me up a little bit more. I used to be able to be much tighter in my post, you know, and that's the one that's having the hardest time coming back. My pronation has come back good, my shoulder commitment has come back good, but this still needs a little bit of work. Yeah, it would have been, listen, it's hard to put every single match together that you look at. There's a million matches that everybody wants to see, you know.
Yes, it's not the critics, but yes, when I watch your older videos, I can see your working angles are much more better, more statical. No, you're strong everywhere. You're super strong everywhere. But you don't have this one really good your working position. Like you know that you will get here, and that's your position.
Yeah, because it's normal as we age to have things we need to overcome, right?
Yeah.
And it's so normal. Like when I look at so many arm wrestlers' careers, you start out and you're healthy, but you don't know anything, and then you get to this spot where you know how to arm wrestle, and you're still pretty healthy. And a lot of times after that, you actually become a better arm wrestler, but your tools start to fade. A lot of old guys actually compensate by getting stronger. You know, like a lot of guys, like, you know, they are actually stronger, but the angles aren't as tight. A lot of old guys' key to success, I think, is the King's move. I think that's I think that keeps a lot of old guys.
So next video,
yeah.
You can wait for you.
Oh, just wait. And people are gonna hate me.
Else I will be looking. Where are you after?
Damn it! No, don't do it.
Where are you?
Yeah. I don't know. Where did he go?
What's a secret of Devon Larratt? You're like I would say most recognizable arm wrestler involved everywhere knows you. People loves you. What's the secret?
Well, I don't know.
I have answer my own answer of this question.
Well,
answer. Like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, you were just doing photo with this disabled girl who pulled junior, and you were always nice, always open to all people. You are sharing your opinion, sharing your experience. And
the matches are incredible.
Of course, arm wrestling, but also your personality.
Well, hey, there's things that are important, and you know what's really important is that this whole experience makes us all better, right? Like we're not here to hurt each other. Like ultimately, like everybody who comes to Nemiroff should go home a better person, you know. And that's something that I try and do. I try and like, listen, I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die, and it's really about what we can leave behind, right? And I think one thing that I've tried to do, and listen, I know that there's so many smart people in arm wrestling, but I know that we have this great tool of communication now, and you guys are doing it with your channel. Like, you just put information out there so that people who are coming up, it just saves them time, you know?
Yeah, at first when Raymond started this channel and some of this information, like I feel that I have had a lot of years to find all this, to find how it's work, and then Raymond just show all those things to others at first, like this. No, you don't need to do this.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah, but after some period, realize that.
Yeah, no, you have to do it.
Yeah,
you have to do it because you're
and you are doing this for a long time already.
Yeah,
because like under each video, people are leaving comment with their idea, so it creates new stuff.
That's right.
So community gets bigger.
Yes.
We all get smarter, healthier.
Yeah,
that's good. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Make the sport better.
People learn, right? In like 10 years, if somebody wants to get good at arm wrestling, or even what this arm wrestling thing is going to become, like this whole arm wrestling story, that's sport, like what does sport teach us? You know, sport teaches us lessons just to make our, yes.
For everything.
Right.
What about your future plans? What do you want to do next?
Is it, or are you coming more to Europe?
I would love,
Is it in plan?
Yeah.
Have you talked about something?
We haven't. No, we have intentions to. Where there's talk about top eight. That would be amazing. Oh, what a challenge! I feel like this idea is going to, at the end of the year, leave no question to who no question, because right now we're in a time like today. There's a lot of speculation about who the actual #1 right-hander is. Left-hand, honestly, I think it's Denis, but there could still be some question there. But right-hand, is it Levon? Is it Dave Chafee? Is it Denis? You know, those three.
Is it Devon Larratt?
Is it me? Is it me? It might be me.
It might be.
We never know. If it was me, that would be awesome.
Because they're planning to do, I think, 3 events next year.
Yeah,
and then the final is Zloty Tur.
That's right.
That would be amazing.
Right, and that would, I feel like that progression at the end of it all is going to be.
For arm wrestling community, like this is the biggest event, the biggest buzz about event we have ever done.
And I like now how like there's all these different ships in arm wrestling. And I feel like PAL has cornered the market on excellence.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about who is the very best, and let's not confuse anything else, I think that's where you look.
Because we talked with Janis, so they did a huge tournament in Moldova.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of money.
Probably they spent same money in Moldova,
but the difference, just from looks, I was in both of them.
Yeah.
There's nothing to compare.
Yeah.
You can spend money smart, and you can make a great event.
And I'm not saying anything of WL, but at least here the fans are real.
Listen, I'll tell you something about WL. Okay. I've worked with WL for a long time, and I recognize that all the fans here are real, and that's awesome. But I'll also tell you that WAL has grown a lot of fans, and that WAL it's true.
The movement is really good for.
It's good for everybody, and that's why like the different ships. WAL has a purpose. Okay?
They're working, they're learning,
they're
changing
and they're getting
rules.
better. I've been in 4 years, and
WAL.
It's good that there's big leagues in both sides of ocean.
And if we all are trying to do the exact same thing, that's just silly too.
Yeah.
Right? Then we might as well just do one thing together. Right? Yeah. But
so you have plans for WL as well, and
and I have to figure out exactly how it's all going to mesh together. But you know, when it comes to competition, I have to go home, lick my wounds. You know, get healthy, get strong. You know, I have to think about my opponents very clearly. And I have to extend, so I've been like competing. I need to extend my vision a little bit further so I can see that goal at the end. Anyways, I have fun with it. I have fun.
This year was crazy for me.
This was a great year in arm wrestling.
This was great, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your predictions about today's super matches?
Okay, so
Rustam Bambayo, Tim Bresnan.
So to me, this is the best match of the night, and it's just to put it really simple. I'm gonna go with Rustam, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm gonna go with Rustam.
Tim has beat Alex Vojevoda. Tim has beat Krasimir Kostadinov.
Every single time.
Dmitry Silayo.
And I'm guilty of it as well, you know. He's underdog every time,
yes.
And he always kicks ass.
Yes.
It's just because he looks like such a dirty old man. You know, when I look at him, I'm just like, you can't be good.
It can be true.
He's amazing.
He is.
He's amazing.
You have pulled him before in a super match as well.
I've pulled him 3 times.
Yeah, and it's never easy.
It just gets harder and harder.
It's never easy.
No, it's never easy.
And he's 53.
He is ridiculously good, but I just feel here's the factors that play in it for me. The big factors for me is 2 factors. The one is I feel like I've pulled Tim many times, and when you initially look at Tim, his build, he's got a smaller hand, you know, you think, okay, this is a guy I probably want to take his hand, but you don't. You want to hook Tim. Like, hooking Tim is the way to arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what probably Rustam will do.
Yeah. And so I think that, like, stylistically, like, the thing that Rustam is really good at, that supinating hook.
Yeah.
That's Tim's weak spot.
Yeah.
That's his weak spot.
For me, only question is, will Tim be able to stop Rustam? If he will be able to stop, we will see some good match.
Last year,
if he will not, it will be the same as last year, Todd Hutchings and
yeah, and that's the thing, and Rustam's been so strong.
So explosive, so strong.
He's really, I don't see him losing. I don't. And another thing is, I do question Tim's ability to travel well.
Yeah.